Welcome! This tutorial is for our pigmented slime. This kit includes instructions, as well as a little test tube with some fragrance oil, some glycerin, and some contact lens solution. It also has borax activator, and of course your pigment. We're going to begin by combining our borax packet with 1 cup of warm water. Then stir gently until it's completely dissolved. Borax is kind of like laundry detergent, so don't drink it. This is going to be our slime activator. We're going to put it in a sealed container and label it just in case. We want to keep this out of reach of small children or pets. Next, we're going to measure out about 3/4 cup of Elmer's clear glue. I really recommend that you use the Elmer's brand because that's what I used when I was testing the slime recipes. This will make about 6 ounces of slime, but if you want a larger slime, it's totally fine if you add a whole cup of glue. Next, you're going to take the little test tube and add it into the bowl and stir. Now we're all ready to activate our slime. You want to add about a teaspoon of activator at a time and mix it in. This can take a few minutes, so be patient. It's important to add a little bit at a time so that you don't accidentally add too much and end up with a stiff slime. Once the slime becomes difficult to mix, you can take it out of the bowl and start stretching and kneading it with your hands. You can add a little more activator as you go if you think you need it, but it's really the stretching and the kneading that will help the slime come together. It'll feel a bit of a mess at first, but it does come together. A good way to know that the slime is ready at this point is if it's not really sticking to the bowl, and you can kind of clean the bowl with it a bit, almost like bread dough. After a few minutes, you'll end up with a texture like this. This is around what we're going for. You want it to be not too sticky. It may be a tiny bit tacky at this stage, but you want it to not be sticking to you too much. And it will hopefully still be nice and stretchy, but if it's not, that's okay. Letting it sit for a bit will fix it if it's a little stiff. So we are going to put the slime in an airtight container and label it for safety and keep it out of the reach of small children and animals. And we are going to let it sit for about a day, maybe 2. This will help the texture out. If you want your slime to be really clear like mine, you might have to wait a little bit longer. I think I left this one for 5 days, but that's totally optional. After the wait is up, you can check on your slime and add a little bit more activator if it's a bit tacky. And once you're all ready, you can do your very own pigment mix. So a couple general troubleshooting tips. You should always wash your hands before and after playing with slime. This actually helps the slime last longer. If the slime becomes sticky or melted, you can add a few drops of activator and knead it in. If you have warm hands, you may find it helpful to put a little activator on your hands before playing. It can also help to keep the slime in a cool place. If it's warm, then it'll kind of be a bit melty. All slimes eventually dry up, but you can make your slime last as long as possible by keeping it in an airtight container and not leaving it out for extended periods of time. And if you want your slime to be as clear as mine, you want to make sure that your bowls and your mixing spoons are as clean as possible, and also your hands, of course. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting my small business. Remember to check us out on TikTok.